Hey ladies, so let's talk a little bit about fad diets, right? So we know that there's a lot of diets out there on the market, right? And let me just kind of be clear about diet. We all have a diet of some sort. Some might eat more carbs, some may eat more meat, some may eat more vegetables, some may eat more fruit, whatever. We all have some sort of a diet. So unfortunately, the word diet gets a bad rap because when somebody say I'm on a diet, it's almost like a restriction thing. But really, when it comes to dieting, it should not be a matter of restrictions because it's a matter of what you eat, okay? So, as it says, like fad diets, I don't know how many of you all have been on fad diets. I definitely have tried some. And the thing is, it's a fad, meaning it's not going to last that long, right? You'll lose that weight this week or 2 weeks from now. You get it off. And if you don't have a plan to be able to maintain that weight loss, guess what? You're going to gain it back. And then you're going to be ticked off. Many of us get ticked off that we gained it back. And that's the problem with fad diets. They just don't typically last. And there's always some pros and cons to those diets. Like when you restrict yourself, like just eat all protein, or eat a lot of proteins, well, that means you're missing out on some nutrients from fruits and vegetables that you need. And it also, if you have a high protein diet, it can affect your kidneys if you have kidney issues. So when you go on these diets, I'm not saying don't do it. It's totally up to you. You're an adult. You make your own decisions. But be very mindful to the kind of diet that you're going to get yourself into. I would suggest you have some kind of a plan that it will sustain you for a long time, if not indefinitely. So include your proteins, your fruits, your vegetables, all that. That needs to be inclusive in your diet. Now, if you're a vegan, then clearly that's plant-based. That means you're not eating any animal meats and with stuff like that. So you just have to make sure you get enough proteins in and get all the nutrients that you need that you could be lacking if you don't have the meat part of it. Because even though some people don't like meat, it still has its nutrients that's different than just regular plant-based protein, okay? So really think about what kind of diet you're going to get yourself into that's going to be sustaining, where you lose it this week, 5 pounds, excuse me, and then when you're off that diet, you're going to gain those 5 pounds back. So have a plan in place when you're losing that weight, right? I think there's a Himalayan diet as far as salt that you can lose up to 40 to 50 pounds in 2 months or whatever. Okay, that's a fad diet for sure, and I would really be careful with that. Because if you do not have a plan, you're going to gain that weight back more than likely. And studies have shown if you lose between 1 to 2 pounds a week, that's more sustainable and you're least likely to gain it. However, that's if you have a plan. So your plan could be having your nutrition together as well as including some physical activity. Both of those typically work hand in hand. However, I know that sometimes we are stressed out. So if you have stress going on in your life, incorporate that too and how you're going to deal with your eating habits and your weight gain and all that. That all is just a package plan. What I plan to do in the next several weeks is to talk about individual diets, okay, whether it's a fad or not, so that people can be more informed about the diets that are out there and something that they can try. Intermittent fasting is another thing. That's a whole new ball game. I'm not saying not to do it because it all depends on who you are and you're an adult. So, hope this video is helpful and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.